Okay, here we go.
SKOL Nation, we've weathered storms before, but this one stings. Welcome back to the official Purple Skull Squad show for Minnesota Vikings fans, the podcast where we ride the highs and confront the lows of Vikings football together. Today, we unpack a tough loss versus Atlanta. The Falcons clipped our wings, and while the scoreboard tells one story, the real tale lies in missed opportunities, costly mistakes, and flashes of brilliance that never quite ignited. It wasn't the ending we hoped for, but it's the one we've got, and we're here to break it down with honesty, grit, and maybe a little therapy. Here are the fellas.
Great open quality control. Tony Bell live from Minnesota. I am live at my sister's wonderful estate here in West Hartford, Connecticut. I think it's going to take us a little while to get over this one. This really wasn't even a game in the beginning. This just was one team showed up, Tony Bell, and the other team just was really nowhere to be found. The Vikings defense played somewhat good in the red zone and in the beginning of this game, but you could tell this was going to be an off night right from the start.
They offensively came out once again flat. There was no. I don't understand what's going on with KOC. I literally don't. He started 2 games this year, and he has looked flat as can be.
Yep.
And you've got a rookie quarterback like JJ. You've got to get him out there, let him get some confidence early, let him feel good, and get into a groove. And KOC is doing just the opposite. He's hindering anything to help this kid, and it drives me up a wall.
Do you feel the way I do, Tony? It's as if, like, in the beginning of the game, and listen, Atlanta had a 6-0 lead. They probably should have been up a little bit more than that. The Vikings handed to them a field position when they didn't get a 4th and 1. I mean, that we're going to get into that in just a bit, because the Vikings, once again, short yardage, can't get the first downs, can't get touchdowns. It's just getting to be a very frustrating aspect. Now, there's many reasons to that, because the situation with the offensive line tonight was just horrible. But it just seems to me, Tony, like there's handcuffs on JJ. And once again, you see JJ waiting for the play. And actually, it was funny because Michael Penix had the same problem on their first drive. He's like, come on, get the play in. And they got a penalty. They had, I think, 2 false starts on the opening.
They had 3 false starts.
Yeah, 3 altogether in the first half. I mean, so I realize the crowd noise, but that's not an excuse for the Vikings. Although I will say this, Tony. Why do the referees stop the play, or they're sitting there in front of the center, the one they called on the Vikings for delay a game? I'm like, let JJ was trying to get up to the center. They wouldn't let him get there. It's like, what is going on with this? It just seems to me KOC is trying to process too much to a second-year quarterback who's really a rookie, and it's this Vikings offense was just stale from the start.
He's got to dumb it down. Bottom line, he's got to dumb it down. Everybody says that he's got the biggest playbook that's hard to decipher. It takes a long time to decipher. Why? You have a rookie quarterback. Dumb it down. You find plays that work for the kid, work for the offense. The other ones you put off to the side. You don't need to know a whole damn playbook of plays you'll never use. You don't need that. You need to get plays that give your quarterback confidence and work to his ability, which we have not seen yet this year. And here's another thing, too. KOC has JJ playing under center a lot more than he ever did at Michigan in the last 2 games. I've noticed that. And that 4th and 1 where the snap was fumbled, I wonder if that's where Ryan Kelly got his concussion, because he would not let go of the ball to snap it to JJ. He hung on to it, and then the next thing you know, he's out of the game.
Yeah, the Vikings really had Tony. I don't know what's going on with them, right? I mean, join us here. This is the official Purple Skull Squad show for Minnesota Viking fans. Let us know how you feel. This is therapy. This is a chance to let it off your chest. We will answer as much as we can, Tony and I. We might be joined by others as well throughout this process. But, Tony, it just seems to me like the Vikings, concussion, concussion, right? I mean, this is an issue that the head injuries, and then of course School got replaced with a concussion by Rouse, and School was awful anyways.
School was terrible.
O'Neal was just horrible tonight.
O'Neal was horrendous.
I mean, I can't wait to see these grades from PFF on what they did. But I mean, the
I
Vikings
don't even need PFF. They were bad.
It was
They were
bad.
bad.
It
Yeah.
was everyone was bad, and I actually thought Juergens came in and did okay on the couple
Except for that snap where he almost snapped the ball over TJ's head.
He did.
He didn't play bad, but you know what? It's just, it's the offensive game plan, whatever it was, just didn't work.
They couldn't run the ball either, Tony. That Atlanta defense, I'll say one thing about them. 2 straight weeks, Raheem Morris is not going to let you run the football. He did that with Tampa Bay. I mean, obviously Baker Mayfield made some plays to his rookie receiver. They lost that one. But he was not letting Aaron Jones or Jordan Mason do anything. And, of course, Aaron Jones went out.
But you know what was there? Passes in the flat, the hook passes were there.
They were.
JJ had time to throw. And then Naylor's dropping passes. Aaron Jones dropped a screen pass. Hawkinson drops a pass. I'm just like, what the hell is going on with this offense?
And then JJ missed a wide open Jalen Naylor, right? And then he skipped the ball to Justin Jefferson on an important 3rd down. So there's a lot of blame to go around. But the statistic that just boggled my mind, Tony, and I know we talked about it when we previewed this game, that, Atlanta's not really fierce on the defensive line, right?
No.
Well, listen to this stat. In the first 14 dropbacks that J.J. McCarthy had tonight, they had 9 pressures. They had 4 sacks. This for a team that has had troubles with sacks throughout their last 3 to 4 years.
Yeah.
Again, they got great play tonight. Their first-round picks, Pierce, Walker, were terrific. Bowman Jr. in the secondary, they got a star there. He had that interception he had was a thing of beauty. But that really was the ultimate problem, is they couldn't run block. Because do you normally see, Tony, Jeff Ulbrich was a star tonight. He's going to get a game ball from me, because he was putting 5-man lines out there. 5-man lines, and he would even dummy a 6th up, right? And this was confusing the Vikings offensive line the whole time. And I don't know if JJ was having a hard time trying to get some hot reads, trying to make trying to get out of that, because he didn't know where the pressure was coming. He looked like a rookie tonight. So the 5-man line that Ulbrich was playing tonight, it really destroyed the Vikings' confidence early in that game in every capacity.
Here's my question. Isn't JJ working against the best defense when it comes to that blitzing, scheming 5-man line? And
yes, he's supposed to be. He's supposed to be, yes.
Okay, that should have been not a problem. For KOC, that should have been not a problem. But it was. It was a big problem.
And, it could get back to as well, Tony, the fact that it's just JJ trying to process the play, right? I mean, he's got to sit there in the huddle. I love his cadence. You can hear he has presence as he gets the team out there. But it just seems to me like the Vikings are breaking that huddle, and they barely have like 10 seconds to even try to change anything and then figure out what the defense is showing them, which then takes a second or two just there, and whether he's going to call out of the play or not. He's got to do a better job of that.
Okay, everything you just said, the huddle, the play calling, getting the play into the huddle, breaking the huddle, all of that, the audibles, who does that fall on? Who gives
that falls on one man? And unfortunately, as
it's
great
the
as
same
winning percentages, right?
We right now are putting a lot of heat on a rookie quarterback. But here's the problem. You've got a head coach who is supposed to be this offensive genius that isn't helping your young quarterback at all.
Exactly.
Bottom line, he's not helping JJ. I said, if JJ does not have success in the NFL, that falls on KOC. And when I said that, this is the reason why I said what I said when I made that comment. KOC will be JJ's kryptonite. And so far, I look pretty accurate.
Well, 12 points in what, 8 quarters, Tony? For up to the last fourth quarter in the Monday night game. I mean, honestly, 6 points in the first half last week on Monday night. What did they have? 6 points going into the half at home against Atlanta, and then they didn't score the rest of the night. So overall, in 8 quarters of play, this team has scored 23 points. That is not good enough in the National Football League. That is not going to fly. They've got to figure out a way to make themselves better off as far as, first of all, a big issue with me is running the football, right? Running the football consistently. It just seems so far, other than Jordan Mason, he had a good game on Monday night. He had that big run in the second half that kind of gave him a little energy. But really, other than that,
You
none
know
of the
who
running
this
backs did anything.
you know who this start reminds me of? And this is going in a wayback machine. It reminds me of the 1971 Vikings. Great defense, but the offense, you couldn't run the ball. They couldn't throw the ball either. Looked a lot like this offense now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Let me correct my 099 math, Tony, just so people don't get on me. The Vikings have scored 33 points. Okay. So my addition was
that's
slightly off, but that's still not good enough.
That's still not good.
What is that, 16 point something a game? I mean, you're just not going to win.
You're
You
not
need to
going to
be able to
win. And oh, by the way, Detroit put up how many points today?
52, Tony. 52. Oh, wait, Armand St. Brown in the end zone again. Make that 59, right? That was, I thought the Bears, we all said that. We thought the Bears had a chance in this one. And the Lions took out their frustrations on the Bears all
They
day
did.
long.
And it's weird as the season goes on, it doesn't get any easier next week, but it does get easier next week. You got the Bengals coming to town. It is a home game. And then you're on the road for 2 weeks.
Yeah, in Europe.
Against a pretty decent Steelers team. And you don't really know what Cleveland team you're going to get, but don't sleep on them because Joe Flacco is a pretty damn good quarterback.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
you've got to fix this pretty soon. Now, here's a good part. This is some good news for JJ. He'll have his favorite target back in Europe in Jordan Addison.
Yes, after week 3, he's going to have Jordan back. So
he'll have Jordan back. What kind of shape will Jordan be in? Who knows? But right now, I mean, we brought Adam Thielen back, but Adam is invisible.
Yeah, Adam is not really
Adam's invisible
factor whatsoever. And
TJ, I don't know what happened to TJ. He dropped a couple of passes today.
Jalen Naylor's actually been the second best receiver. He had a good night tonight, if you want to say one of the few players that actually played well. I mean, Jed has put up some statistics with that big catch he had, but for the most part, it was just the Vikings.
Teams are just gonna, up until we get Addison back, like to next week, they're just gonna double and triple team JJ and dare the other guys to do something. And Naylor's got single coverage all game.
And I don't think, Tony, you look at what Penix Jr. did today. I guess he played within the system, and it was quite obvious that the Falcons, Raheem Morris, wanted the Falcons to control the ball, run the ball, which they did extremely well. If there is a really check minus against the Vikings defense tonight, it's the fact that they almost gave up 200 yards. I think they did. They gave up over 200 yards running the ball to Bijan.
And I got one person that I'm going to get on in that defense, Ivan Pace Jr. He overran plays. He missed goals.
Long hole.
I'm just like, you blitzed the hole, but guess what? Bijan's going through the other side. Where are you? And then when you did hit the hole, you get mugged by the guard. I mean, it's just, and then, we played that 3-4. Here's the thing. Those are pass rushers. If they got to play run defense, it could be a long game for them. And I said, if Atlanta was going to win this game, Bijan was going to have to be the focal point. And what was he?
He was a monster tonight. Literally, he was running. That one run, Tony, was one of the most exciting 4-yard runs I've seen in a long time. He deked out 3 Vikings just to get the 4 yards, but it got him close to the first down marker, and they got a first down anyway. So Bijan was he is, if they just, it's weird because they don't overuse him, which is probably smart because Tyler Algier was in there. Tyler had 14 carries for 74 yards at a 5.3 clip and the only touchdown in the football game. But Bijan at one point, Tony, this is how good he is, right? At one point, I think they showed the statistics in the beginning of the fourth quarter, so the Vikings might have overtaken him. At one point, Bijan Robinson had 168 total yards. The Vikings had 164 as a team.
Yeah, I saw that.
Bijan was outproducing the whole offense for the
I saw
Vikings.
that. And our longest run, I believe, was J.J. McCarthy scramble.
The one scramble he had. I mean, JJ looks to me, and again, this points the finger, Tony Bell at KOC. It looks to me like he's just trying to not run. Like, and by the time he decides to run, it's hesitant. And the Falcons had success.
Didn't we see that a couple of years ago with a certain quarterback named Josh Dobbs?
Yes, we did. And I'm wondering if he's trying to overcompensate and make his coach happy by staying in the pocket too long and trying to get the ball to someone. But
here's another thing.
Too.
Our receivers are getting no separation. That's got to be another problem too.
Yeah,
we're not getting separation. We can't. Offensive linemen are told to hold their blocks for like maybe 3-4 seconds, maybe. As soon as that ball is snapped, it's in your hands and out. And here's another thing too. You've got JJ not in pistol. JJ's under center. That's completely different for him. He's got to now be a drop back quarterback, which is fine.
That's the part. Why aren't we making it easier? Why not put JJ in a situation in which he came out of and make him comfortable just when you see him struggling the way he did in the beginning of that game? And you see JJ in the first half in Chicago, it's like he's being handcuffed. Let him play. Let him play.
You know what?
How he plays.
Nobody will ask the questions we're asking in that presser tomorrow about JJ. Nobody will ask him that question. And that somebody should. If you're watching the game, if you're watching this team and you're following, your football, any type of football, with a young quarterback, why would you put him in the positions you put him in the last 2 weeks? Granted, he won Chicago, but then guess what? You tried to put him in that position again this week, and it didn't work.
It didn't work. And let's just put it where the blame belongs with this game tonight, too, though. Sure, JJ overthrew Jalen Naylor. He had 2 interceptions. I think he finished something like really ugly stat line, something like 11 for 21 for, I don't know, something like 150 yards. It wasn't impressive whatsoever.
Penix
for 21, 158 yards and 2 INTs. But it was really, this game falls on the offensive line. I mean, you cannot sit there and allow the Atlanta Falcons with 5 men showing on the line. Where's the quick slants? Where's the quick play? Let JJ get rid of the ball quickly. Instead, he was asked to do those long dropbacks, Tony, something we've noticed on KOC.
He's not a drop back quarterback.
Got to let him do what he does. Pull him out of pressure. Let him run a little bit early. Let him get loose. Have him throw a deep ball in the beginning of the game. It was all these short patterns. Both teams, Michael Penix didn't do much either. 13 for 21 for 135. And basically most of Michael Penix's throws were to the running backs. Neither one of them were trying to, test the secondaries.
They got Kyle Pitts involved early.
They did. Pitts was actually really impressive tonight.
Yeah, they got Pitts involved early, figures. But then when they got away from London was when, Eric Wilson, great defensive play by him.
Oh, he did the punch out, the Terrence Crawford punch.
And he punched the ball out. They got away from London. But once again, the Vikings couldn't capitalize on it. Got a field goal.
No.
And here's the thing. I'm not being I'm being critical of KLC, but I'm not being hypercritical to the point of, we need to get rid of him. But right. I am going to call him out when you're hindering the growth of your quarterback. You are.
It seems they're not playing within a system that makes JJ McCarthy work. Get him to feel comfortable. Have him go back in the shotgun a couple times. Run some RPOs. You have the talent to do it. Do some stuff.
I noticed something too. A lot of what KLC coaches works with a veteran quarterback. Doesn't work too well with a younger quarterback that's coming from like a college system like JJ did, which was NFL ready, but they ran the ball a ton at Michigan. And that's the thing. You need a running game to help you. We don't even have a running. We can't run block.
No,
we can't make holes. Jordan Mason makes his own holes.
Right. We have Will Fries. Ryan Kelly was only in there for 2 quarters.
Yeah,
So
and he may be out now, maybe a week or two. He's going to be
he
in
could
concussion
be. He
protocol.
could be. And Donovan Jackson struggled tonight, but you know what? That's okay. You know what? Because Donovan is a rookie, and these things can happen. I mean, the whole offensive line as a whole struggled. There wasn't one guy
And
who really was
you got to
above
put that
average.
on. I've always put that on coaching. I'm not the biggest Chris Cooper fan either, but
Right. And it comes that you look at a game like tonight, it was quite obvious. If quality control can read that for me, that would be amazing. I see that Ted Camachis has a line for us there. So what is that there, quality control?
Ted says, bingo, O-line has major issues which only work out over time. Good O-lines don't completely rebuild. They replace holes.
Right.
we did replace holes with damaged goods.
Right. With Kelly, who's been an injury prone
Yeah,
guy.
Kelly has had concussion problems before. Fries is coming off of surgery. Donovan, I would like to see what his thing was, but you had SKOL and Rouse. You put Rouse in there cold, and that holding call was kind of bogus on Rouse. I'll just put that
It kind of was. I saw a lot of holding from Atlanta too. They didn't call.
Yeah. So that was kind of bogus. But then O'Neal's your veteron.
He might have had one of his worst.
He looked like hell out there.
Yeah, he didn't. There was one, Tony, if you recall, it was a pressure from out wide. The Falcon guy, and I don't know if it was Pierce or Walker. It might have been one of the other guys. Literally walked in. It was number 0. Literally just walked right in.
Funny name on this guy. Get this, Divine Diablo.
Right, he's a former safety, right? That moved to
yeah. Okay, first of all, you're a male and your name is Divine. You better be a football player.
Yeah, and you know what? Tonight he was. I mean, the whole listen. Tip your cap too. Let's face it. The Atlanta Falcons defense on the road, hostile environment, a very loud U.S. Bank Stadium. I mean, the first drive alone, again, we said 3 false starts on the Falcons, which cost them a touchdown. Yeah. Ended up getting a field goal. So the crowd did their part, but it was amazing to hear how quiet it was there by the third quarter.
But you know what? And here's the thing. KLC as a head coach had these guys ready. He didn't. He did not have these guys ready. Once again, they came out flat. This time, they're being flat, bit them in the ass.
Yeah, why does this team, Tony? I mean, we could go back to Mike Zimmer's time, right? We can go back and say these flat starts, but you're at home. Just can't. Why not? Let's let JJ drop back and throw a 40 or 50-yard bomb to JJ to start the game. You got the crowd. You got the excitement. Live up to it. Like, go own that game. It was they were trying to counterpunch. I mean, offensively, they were doing exactly what Atlanta knew they were going to do. No creativity, except for the one in which Kevin O'Connell called the right play. And was it the 4th and 1 play or 3rd and 1 play where Naylor busted the coverage, was wide open, and JJ just overthrew it. I mean, it's going to happen too.
Both coaches tonight were coaching not to lose. Big difference was Raheem won it, KOC didn't. They weren't coaching. It's like there's truth to when you say you're not coaching to win, you're coaching not to lose. There's a lot of truth in that. And we watched that game tonight. This was a perfect example of that game.
It was. I mean, 6 sacks, countless pressures. JJ just seemed that there were some times where JJ seemed a little unnerved. And of course, when you get pressure like that, you're going to start hesitating, or you're going to start overthinking.
Like I said, you're going to get your future quarterback killed.
Yeah, he took some hits. And you know what he did too? Ted's got another liner here. If you want to go with that there, quality control, let me know what is on the board there.
Ted says the positive thing is that Tarkenton struggled his first year too. 5 interceptions in his first 7 games. Sometimes I wonder how well Francis would have survived if he had started his career at a time when the internet could judge him.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. Here's where Fran would have been successful. The rules nowadays, Fran would have been looking like Johnny Unitas before Johnny Unitas.
I agree. This is
with the way that the rules were, especially for offensive football, Fran would have flourished.
Yeah, no, he would have.
He would have flourished.
I mean, Ted, and just answering to Ted's comment on that too, Ted, good observation. I mean, there's been a lot of good young quarterbacks that struggled early in their career. I mean, Peyton Manning is a prime example of that. You can't get overly, I'm overly hyped. I believe in this kid, and this is what the fourth loss he's had in his almost 70
He's
games.
going to have games like this in the real world.
This is a different level of
But to
teams are
me,
faster, more talented. I mean, it's
yeah,
going to take him time to acclimate, and we're going to, unfortunately, with the schedule being as tough as it is, I mean, the Vikings could be in for a struggle. 10 wins, 11 wins, I think are still possible. But if you can't run the ball, if you can't block, if you can't allow a team to get 9 pressures in the first 14 drive, that
here's
can't happen. You can't
here's
allow that.
my thing, and this is where I'm mad. You're going to have those games. Yes, he will. But against a very beatable Atlanta Falcons team
Yes.
with no stars on defense, and the offense only has Bijan Robinson. If you hit him enough, he starts dropping the ball. You've got Penix, who is damn near a rookie quarterback. There is no way with KOC, if he's this offensive genius, and Jeff Albrick is just like an interim DC that got the job.
You look like the best defensive coordinator in
You
the
look
NFL
better than
tonight.
Flores out there tonight. And you've got KOC playing down to his level. Come on.
Yeah.
No, that's not excusable. I'm not letting KOC off the hook for this. You cannot, and I will say it again, and I will repeat it, and I will repeat it over and over again. You cannot put JJ in this situation where he gets his ass kicked every friggin' week.
So far, 2 weeks out there, he's had one good quarter. JJ being where he was able to do what we, have seen JJ do in college and high school. Unfortunately, I mean, there's just really been very little elsewhere with this Vikings team yet that has reached where they should be. And granted, injuries change things, right? But every team in the NFL has injuries. I know Darrisaw's not out there. I know the Hitman's not out there. Van Ginkel wasn't out there tonight. It showed, although I thought Dallas Turner
played great. Okay, let's not get on Dallas Turner and talk about, he's a bust. No, he got a sack tonight. Grenard got a sack tonight.
The Vikings had 3 sacks or 4?
We had 3 sacks. Jalen Redmond got a sack.
Yep, him and Levi shared one.
Yep. So here's the thing: if you really want to get on somebody on that defense, you got to get on those inside linebackers.
Yeah, Wilson, other than punch, a little off tonight. Pace,
right.
Ivan Sr.
was a non-factor. He was missing tackles. He was getting trucked. He was missing the holes. I mean, he shoots through one hole and Bijan runs through the opposite hole. I mean, come on.
It was horrific. And yet the Vikings defense, in all honesty, Tony, as bad as they might have been on their run defense tonight, they gave their offense a chance. I mean, 9-6 at the half, 12-6 after 3.
All you can do as a defense is keep your offense into the game. B-Flow and the defense did their job. Yeah, they gave up a lot of yards in between, but the game was still winnable.
It was very winnable. But
KOC,
this is when it's not winnable, Tony. In the second half, punt, fumble, punt, interception, right? So, I mean,
those punts, who is that on? You mean to tell me you don't trust your offensive line to get a yard? You're down at the goal line, and don't.
When that happened, that's what I was excited to see, Tony. I was begging. I was like, please give it to Jordan Mason. Let's see if we can get a yard, which we couldn't do last year in many different instances, even though they were 14-3. The problem was the Vikings within the goal line running the ball in. They didn't even give Jordan Mason a chance. Well, they had a penalty, and then the whole thing just turned it. It was just a horrible game. Flush it down the toilet. We're going to try to have to do this because it's a regular skid. Torrey Holt's not with us tonight, and Bill Dunkel Jr. is not with us tonight. Both were at the game. I heard it was a nightmare trying to get out of the garage there. Unfortunately, they've got to drive home thinking about what they just watched, which was just not good enough football. Just really horrible football.
If I was a Viking fan, I'd demand a refund.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Demand a refund.
Ted added, our defense did hold them to field goals and interception and sacks. It's more about no established running game and a failure to block as a unit.
Yeah.
And who does that fall on?
Yeah, I know who it falls on.
And here's another thing too. We'll say it again. You need those reps in training camp and preseason games.
And they don't play their
starters in preseason games. So guess what? Our starters, this is why they're getting hurt. They had no game time action in preseason. So
Tony,
they're
you know
not
this
being
more than
ready.
anybody. You know this more than anybody. Maybe it's a little different on the defensive line. They don't need as much time to gel. But you know this when you play a line position, especially offensive line, everyone's in unison. Everyone's got to know first of all, they got to learn their quarterback's cadence, right? So they get comfortable with that.
Mhm.
And then, you got to know where everybody is, what their strengths are, what their weaknesses are. Now, most of them aren't going to play a lot in preseason. So, but you should play up to a certain point just so you get familiar with the guy next to you, because they start the season off just trying to, oh, it looks so good on paper. It looks great. Other than, of
Mhm.
course, Darisaw not being healthy. And Darisaw is going to be a huge addition to the offensive line. Nobody's saying it won't be, because him and Donovan are going to be quite effective when they're out there. And
They'll be fine. It's the other three that you're going to have to worry about.
well, Kelly with injuries, Will Fry's
He has a
not
bad
good tonight.
foot. He's still not healed from that foot. And O'Neal is starting to show his age.
He was not good tonight. He
wasn't.
That's what was discouraging. I think if you look at it as a whole, Tony, the way Brian O'Neal played offensive line tonight is just the reason why, and many reasons why, the Vikings were not going to win tonight. He was just terrible. And it's frustrating. The Vikings had their throwback uniforms on tonight. Jared Allen was there to blow the Gallahorn, get the Viking crowd crazy with the SKOL chants, and they were allowed. And then, of course, it was the first time at home with the 70s patch honoring Jim Marshall. And honestly, it was pretty much an egg right out of the start. And this can't happen. If this continues to happen where the Vikings are trailing going into the half with no sense of showing
No urgency. None
urgency,
whatsoever.
they've got to come out and smack the other team in the mouth for a change, not waiting and then, oh, well, I got to protect my quarterback. He's young, this and that. You got to open it up. If he makes mistakes, he makes mistakes, but simplify it and put him towards his strength. Make quicker plays for him. And definitely tonight was really interesting, Tony. I would like to know how many slants the Vikings ran, because it seemed like a lot of the play calls were out to the boundary, other than there's a cross by TJ Hawkinson where he dropped it. Naylor's got his receptions out on the boundary. But I didn't see any slants with Thielen. I didn't see quick hits inside. Like, get JJ involved. JJ's first catch was a 9-yard out, which he didn't even get the first down on, which was his 500th catch. So congratulations, Justin Jefferson. You're the fastest to do so. But it just seemed like there was no quickness. Like, okay, let's let our young quarterback drop back there, wait for something to open up deep. And, without Jordan Addison there, it's it's not going to happen. JJ had this most success with Jordan Addison in preseason, in training camp. Maybe that will open things up when he returns after week 3 over in Europe. But, the Vikings got to survive next week, Tony. We'll get into that in just a minute. With playing a Cincinnati team now, the Vikings might catch a break. I think the Vikings are going to see a Cincinnati Bengal team that might be without Joe Burrow. I did not see the injury. Apparently, he's got a grade 3.
He's out for 3 months.
He's out for 3 months. So he's not even – and they also lost their number 1 pick. Was it Shemar Stewart?
Shemar Stewart hurt?
Yeah, he's hurt too. So, I mean, the Vikings are going to go into this game. Not that it should make it anything easier, because when you see that, maybe you get overconfident. And the way they played tonight, the way they played for 3 quarters in Chicago – you got to see this team come right out of the start and be fiery. KOC's got to help his quarterback throw the football, get it going. So that's what's got to happen. Now, for a good, bad, and ugly, Tony, I'm going to let you start. But just to say, most of these are going to probably be Atlanta Falcons if I say good, because it was very hard to find a Viking good. But I'm sure bad and ugly, we can certainly put a lot of different people's names in there.
Good, Bijan Robinson.
Game breaker.
Bad. Bad is a Viking offense. Ugly is KOC's play calling and team management overall.
Yeah. And then there's some of the penalties tonight were bad as well. We saw,
some of these penalties were just ticky, as they call them, ticky tack.
Yeah.
It was. I'm like, they're calling like, really? That's a hold?
I mean, the
My
delay
God.
of games. I don't understand the Vikings with the delay of game and then the line ref sitting in front of the center so JJ can't get underneath them. I
The
don't
delay
understand
of
how that's
game,
possible.
I think the delay of game was because it takes so long for KOC to get the play in.
Yeah,
Remember, we
I
had
think there's
this
something to
problem
that.
before with KOC and the quarterback who shall remain nameless in that Charger game. At
Yeah.
the end, they didn't get the play in
That's right. We've seen it a
fast
few
enough.
times. We've
Yeah,
seen it. I think we've talked about this. We even saw it last year with Sam Darnold. We saw Kirk Cousins get frustrated with getting the play in on time, and now we're seeing it with JJ, who's really a rookie. And this is where things have to go quicker. Things have to be quicker. Let's move it. Like usually, KOC is pretty good in the first 20 scripted plays, but tonight, last week in Chicago, teams are taking away the run. They let JJ kind of establish something with his arm early, get his confidence up. Well, that remains to be seen. My good, bad, and ugly, and then I'll give a game ball as well here. The good, definitely, I agree with you. I mean, the running game of the Falcons as a whole, but I'm going to give it, since you gave it to Bijan, which is the obvious choice, I'm going to go with the whole Atlanta Falcons defensive line. Pierce, Walker, you could just put any one of them. The defensive tackle who was laughing at the Vikings when they got him on a false start, I thought that was absolutely humorous. I thought it was very funny. Not funny for us, but funny for him. So the Falcons defensive line accounted for 5 of the 6 sacks tonight. They had over 50% pressure rate on J.J. McCarthy. In fact, as I said in the first quarter, they had 9 pressures on his first 14 dropbacks. The defensive line, Jeff Ulbricht's crew, was tremendous. The good, bad, and now the ugly, both bad and ugly. Well, bad Vikings run defense tonight, just atrocious. Over 200 yards allowed on the run. And that's basically what Atlanta concentrated on. There was no deep plays. The secondary played okay. Drake London wasn't a factor. Mooney wasn't a factor. Kyle Pitts was a factor early in the game. He had a couple catches. But really, the Falcons were just dunking the ball off to the running backs. And, but still, no run defense. And the ugly, the ugly is going to go on Kevin O'Connell, Tony. I mean, we can't, for as good as he's, 35 wins in his first, 4 years so far. It's pretty good winning percentage, over 690. But it just seems to me like he complicates things. Things are complicated.
he's got to get, you know what? He's got to get the blame when it's bad. Also, they just can't give him props when it's good. They've got to get on him when it's bad. And tonight was bad.
It just was bad from the start. Listen,
Yeah.
I think the thing the Vikings need to do is just basically flush this game down the toilet. You're 500. You got another game at home before you go on your European vacation, if you want to call it that. It won't be a vacation because the Steelers will certainly be a tough test. I don't know what the Browns will be by that time. But
you know what, though?
that
Steeler team is very beatable. I watched them
today.
today.
It's beatable.
Seattle.
No, they lost to Seattle today, right? I mean, you look around the NFL today, Tony, there was quite a few surprises. Obviously, Indy beating Denver. I mean, that's a surprise. The way the Bears played today. I mean, I know Quality Control's smiling because their Patriots won 33.
I watched that game, and it's like he gets the punt return for the touchdown, and then all of a sudden they turn right back around, and Miami luck, they give up the kickoff return.
Yeah.
And
go Pats there. Sure, go Pats. Yeah, right there. Quality Control. Whatever. I thought the game that I did watch, I did watch a little of. I was really involved with family time for most of the early afternoon, was the Eagles-Chiefs game. And I'm going to tell you, Tony Bell, the last time the Chiefs were 0-2 is 2014, and they did not make the playoffs.
They didn't make the playoffs, no.
And today could have been one of the more frustrating days because Philadelphia really didn't play that great, right? And Jalen Hurts was contained. Barkley didn't go off. And then you saw that interception. We've seen this happen to us a few times. I mean, that ball was right in Travis Kelce's hand. And if he catches that,
that was Kelce. That was all on Kelce.
And you just saw his face. I thought that was one of the most classic faces you're going to see when they wrap up week 2 tomorrow night, is the fact Travis Kelce just went off. He was just like, because he knows when you deflect the ball up like that, it could lead to an interception. Oh, Jennifer Olsen has a comment. What did she say there, Quality Control?
She says, pitiful game. The punter and the kicker were the 2 good things we had going tonight. Play calling was bad, and offense didn't look like they showed up. The defense got tired.
And before we go to Tony, I didn't even add this for the.
Oh wait, we have a special guest coming in.
What? What is this? Special guest? Oh, look at Sir
What's so
Purple.
special about him?
Yeah, exactly.
I thought the only one
now?
that thought that Atlanta was going to give this team a run for their money.
This team should
Bill,
should not have given them a run for their money. That's the whole thing.
Bill, you were there, so we're going to let you have the platform. I mean, just from your standpoint, did it look worse than it did for us watching it on NBC tonight?
Yep.
I mean, out of the things that you saw, what is the most concerning for you with this team as far as moving forward?
Well, obviously, people say it's the offensive line, which is obviously true because that's going to affect the quarterback.
Sure.
But I said in my text, I'm going to go by it's the coaching still.
Yeah. No, it is coaching. I think Tony and I both had him as their ugly.
That was one of the worst head coaching games he's ever done because, and it's funny, I said to the guy next to me, and I said to Blake, okay, it's 3rd and 1, and it was the bomb to Naylor. I said, okay, they're going to go for it. They have to.
Yes, thank you, Bill. It was 3rd down. You could have gone for it.
When you do a bomb like that, that means you're going for it on 4th down.
Right. You're going, you
99.9, and they didn't. And that was the play. I tell you, where he lost me was 1st and goal at the 2. You signed 2 new offensive linemen. You drafted one in the 1st round. And then you bring in a battering ram as a running back. And what do you do on 1st down?
Play action, roll out.
And why don't you just run Mason up the gut?
I was excited to see that, Bill. Tony and I talked about it earlier. Like, okay, you've got an improved offensive line. You got the bowling ball. I want to see this. This is what's got to happen, right? I think I said in our predictions, Jordan Mason was going to get 2 touchdowns, but I mean, they can't. It's either he has no confidence in the running game whatsoever at all to do this at any time, because we saw it all last year, and of course we blame the offensive line. But now, how can you say that? You got Donovan Jackson. Ryan Kelly was in the game without a concussion before that time. And you have Will Fries. And you got O'Neal. Sure, Justin School's there as the turnstile. But you still, if you're running it up the gut, they were giving Atlanta way too much, what do you want to call that? Way too much credit with their 5-man front.
Yeah, they're giving them way too much credit. And here's another thing, too. Your front office went out there and got you these offensive linemen to plug and play and fix those holes to make sure you run the ball, and then you go back to what you always do.
Yep.
You know, I said it before. He hates to run the ball.
Absolutely hates it. I mean, it's obvious. There was no momentum. I mean, granted, Atlanta kind of took their will early running the ball. They were stuffing Aaron Jones, who, of course, then ends up with some kind of hamstring injury.
That's a problem with Flores, too, by the way. They are the lightest defensive line in football. That's a fact.
You commented on that, too, Bill. I'm giving you credit.
They're going to have issues with big backs and bigger offensive lines, for that matter. And they had that issue. I know he's great, but my God, give me a break. You cannot consider yourself a great defense when you're giving up that type of rushing with that ball.
Bijan's one of the top 3 backs in the league.
Yeah, but they can. If they're that good of a defense, he should not be running, especially on the road.
Well, here's the statistic.
Well, here's the problem. When you have a little linebacker like Ivan Pace who's shooting gaps and he's missing the holes. Yeah, he was
Ivan
terrible.
Pace might be one of the worst ranked players other than the guys on the offensive line in tonight's game. He was invisible.
Yeah,
like Tony pointed out, he's running the wrong lanes. I'm like, what are you doing? You don't go there. You go to where the ball.
He looked lost.
He looked lost. It was a bad night for Ivan
McCarthy
Pace.
was sacked 6 times, hit a bunch of other times. They got to be careful with him because
he got up slow on that scramble.
Yes, he did. That was right by our end.
Well, also JJ's got to learn. You saw that early in the game, guys. On one of his first runs, I thought it was a 1st down. That's the one in which they didn't get it on the quarterback sneak. He went and he put his shoulder down to try to hit the Falcons guy to get extra yard. Listen, JJ, no. You slide, okay? You slide.
What do you expect?
Yeah.
Did you see? Did you see quarterbacks trucking defensive backs today? Mahomes trucked one of the Eagles.
Yeah, I think it's, you know what, you keep doing that and you're
going. Oh, and by the way, if I want to give kind of a partial game ball, and it's not even just for what they did on one play. Aaron Jones pancaked the cornerback on that McCarthy scramble. He pancaked him.
Yep.
I mean, that's what you live for.
Both Mason and Jones Sr. are two very good blocking backs. I've seen
Yeah.
them
And he's hurt.
We saw it in Chicago. You know, Mason made a huge block that set up the touchdown pass to Justin Jefferson.
Yep.
He stopped the blitz coming in, gave JJ enough time to get it to Jettas, and that was a huge play in that game. So, listen, the other stat, Bill, that would add to your point is Bijan Robinson almost rushed for 9 yards a carry. Tyler Algier, who's their power back, their second guy, he had 14 carries for 74 yards, a 5.3 average, and the only touchdown in the game.
Stat.
I mean, yeah, that's just a bad night. The defense run stopping, bad night.
The Falcons ran for more yards than the Vikings had total yards.
Yeah. In fact, I was telling Tony there was a statistic, Bill, that Bijan Robinson himself had 168, had more yards than the Vikings did at 164.
Yep.
It was sometime in the fourth quarter.
Yep, you're right.
When that statistic was shown. And then, it's just, this team, and we'll leave it at this, I think. Unless you want to do, Bill, if you want to do a good, bad, and ugly really quickly, we can. The other area we haven't talked about tonight that was absolutely horrible, guys, is Miles Price had a bad night.
I don't want to talk about him. They can cut him anytime. I'm done with him.
Well, he should not be kick returning and punt returning. He can do punt returning, I guess, even after the football, but he's not a kick returner in my opinion.
No, the special teams, Atlanta's special teams was 10-star tonight too.
Well, that's Daniels too. I mean, we've had him. Giraffe has had him here since the beginning.
Yeah, and if I had to give a game ball, it's going to Parker Romo, a former Viking with 5 field goals in 5 attempts. And I was expecting the first one though, guys. Did you think that was bad?
That was no good.
I'm like, no good.
I thought it was no good. That was at our end. That was our end.
Yeah, everybody was online looking at it. Even my girlfriend was like, "That's no good." I'm like,
They showed it. They did show it from the top angle, the camera.
Still no good.
Barely.
So who do you guys give game balls to in good, bad, and ugly?
I'm giving it to the other team. We gave it to Bijan. I think
I gave it to Bijan.
I gave it to the Falcons defensive line, but I forgot.
You know who I'm going to give it to? And I don't even like the guy too much. I'm going to give it to Raheem Morris. He had his team ready.
He did because this game could have been over after the second quarter. I mean, the Falcons were horrible in the red zone. Falcons were like the Vikings bad in the red zone.
If they play Lamar like that and Philly like that, if they'd have been playing those teams, that game is over.
That game is over by halftime.
And Bill, you were there, right? And I thought, you had Jared Allen. I said this earlier. Jared Allen there, the Hall of Famer, blowing the Galler.
By the way, I had a nice video. I taped the whole thing, but I couldn't keep my mouth shut during the video.
So you couldn't edit it, is what you're saying.
Well, because I'm so upset that Ed White, Marshall, and Foreman aren't in.
Yeah.
It's so sad. Jared deserves to be in, but I'm sorry. Especially he does not be in over Jim Marshall. No.
But how loud was it there? Bill, how loud was it? It wasn't the fan. The fans, the first quarter, the fans were causing Michael Penix to fall.
No, they were pumped. They were, the guys, because we wasn't a handicap, but the people that were, like, you want to call it rail stand-up seating, not even seating, they're just standing up, room only. Those people were so damn drunk. I think I heard the F word every other word from them.
Well, the Vikings gave them ample opportunity to use the F word.
Okay, Bill, were the doors open or closed?
Doors were open.
Were they open? Because it looked closed on TV.
Well, see now, they were closed at the start. Now when we left, they were open. So I suppose closed. I was so upset going into that damn thing. Wait, no, they were open.
Because by NFL rules, it was 85 degrees here. They were supposed to be open.
Well, that's a great point, Tony. We didn't even talk about this. The guys were sweating. So how humid was it in there, Tony?
Oh, it was horrible.
Bill. Yeah, because horrible. I saw, McCarthy's thing in the first quarter, he's got the black face paint, and it's just scurrying down. You see the sweat. All of them were, like, having a hard time with that. Obviously,
the air circulation in there isn't the best, especially on the field.
No, it's not.
And
there's no excuses for the performance that they put up. You want to do a good, bad, and ugly, Bill, before we wrap this up?
Good is the the Atlanta Falcons organization, from top to bottom, the coach down to the long snapper, and the water boys, if you want to say that. The bad would be
The whole offensive line.
they have the offensive line, and the ugly. I'm going to go to the head coach. It starts with him.
Yeah.
Nobody can justify his play calling tonight. Give
No,
me
it was
a
bad.
break.
It was bad. Well,
I
like
mean,
Tony
I
said,
don't think Flores. I'm tired of his starts with that defense because it's an ongoing thing with him. Yes, two things can be true. There's an issue with that, and then they kept him in the game. So both can be true because they did keep him in the game. How? It's just they did it. The noise helped. They were still fresh, but O'Connell. It starts with him.
Yeah.
I was. You know what? I told Blake. I don't know, man. I mean, I picked New England, so I'm not going to back away, but. It's
well,
again
listen,
what Tony.
I mean, Tony and Bill, we can overreact. I mean, listen,
No, but
one
it
week.
goes again to a bigger. It's a big game in my eyes. It's a home opener. You're 1-0. You won a game you didn't deserve to win, and you lay an egg and you can't even score a touchdown. Even the TB, the brother, and his wife and little boy, they were from Atlanta. They had to be from Atlanta. And I shook his head at the end. I said, "I hate our fucking coach." But I mean, we weren't ready.
No.
And that falls on the head coach.
And that falls on the head coach. They're flat again. This is an ongoing. I said to Blake, people didn't like it. I hear it. As I walked out, how did this asshole win Coach of the Year?
And everybody, I'm still waiting to see this offensive genius. Everybody tells me he's an offensive genius. Where is it?
Yeah, it's like the quarterback statistics. They're not looking at the principles of the game calling. I mean,
think that's going to his head a little bit?
It's been to it. It was to his head when he got here.
Yeah.
That when he was 13-4, that went to his head, and you see he went to.
Well, not only that, you guys, but how about all these other on-air talent? You can see it all around. Mike Greenberg picking him as his first coach in the NFL. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
You're taking him over Sean McVay, Andy Reid. That's just stupid, just dumb. Okay, he's nowhere. He's KOC at best is 6th or 7th in the NFL right now. He's got a lot to prove. The reason why I think he gets the acclaim that he does is because he seemingly works well with quarterbacks, but he's not working well with JJ.
He's not working well with JJ at the early.
And that's an issue when you put all your marbles into a kid and you want to make it more simple for him. And it just seems like he's trying to do what he's done. And you said this too, Tony. You said his stubbornness.
No, he's
something
he's right.
That is just mind-numbing.
Yep.
Right. And I think the only reason why the Vikings won in Chicago last week is because he just let JJ kind of do JJ things. And that worked out pretty well. Tonight,
can I ask a question?
Did you see this? Hey, Bill, can I ask you this?
Yeah.
When you see JJ, it seems like he's hesitant to even try to run. Yeah. He sits there and then I'm thinking about it, but no, I think my coach doesn't want me to do it. Just let him play.
What do you think happened to Josh Dobbs?
Yes. We know that for a fact.
Well, yeah, he even said it. He even said he's got to play to my offense, not that
exactly
football.
And I've said it before, and I will keep saying it, and I will keep saying it until my last breath. Hopefully, that's not in the near future. But JJ's kryptonite will be KOC.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no other way of looking at it. Let him do shotgun once in a while. Why not make him comfortable?
Bill, you're going to agree with me here. I want the press up here to start asking KOC some real questions when it comes to play calling and why you will not help your young quarterback out by lessening the load for him at quarterback.
Yeah.
Giving him some things that work with him, giving some playing to his strength. Why does it have to be about you?
Justin Jefferson's probably not very happy right now.
Well, there was a picture. You might have seen it or not seen it, Bill, because obviously you're in the stands. And I don't know if the big screen showed it, but NBC went to a picture of JJ on the sidelines, and it was not flattering. And I just hope
and also
JJ doesn't take it out on the young quarterback. I don't think he will, but he's going to have some
more the ball.
I got to quickly ask you your opinion on going for it the first time the only time.
I didn't like it. I myself didn't like it.
Too early. It was too early.
Too early.
Well,
just too early.
That what the heck kind of a call is that?
Well, it's not.
You
And
know what?
also,
That's a trend in the NFL now. A lot of these head coaches are going for it on 4th and short in their own territory.
it doesn't make a lot of sense.
It's like a trend, and they're not all making it either.
And also, Tony, if you watch that play, the Falcons knew what was coming. The Falcons had their defensive tackle right over the ball, and he went to the. If you watched him, he waited, and then he stepped a little bit, and he had both his hands down, and he went right to the right side where he figured JJ was going to. I don't know how he knew JJ was going to run it there, but he got underneath Kelly. And that play was going.
JJ didn't even have the ball. Kelly hung on to the ball.
Actually fumbled it. Right.
Yeah.
He fumbled it.
He fumbled it and picked it up, and then by that time it was already.
By the way, Kelly, obviously you guys know he got concussion. He had played against the toe. He won't be playing next week. Hamstring Jones, he ain't playing next week. No way.
Mm-mm.
No way.
It seems like concussion. I don't know what it is, Bill, but
and I don't think Darisaw. I wonder what they're going to do with Darisaw because they really need him. But are they going to?
Darisaw might play because they're facing Hendrickson.
Yeah, he's going to be in there.
Or we got a little break though. You know, Shamar is out.
Stewart?
Yeah, their number one.
Okay, pick. You know what, Bill? He wasn't that good in the first place. No,
I know, but at least it gives them. I told Blake if we lose to Jake, is it Jake, right? Jake Browning again.
Jake Browning, yes, Jake Browning.
Yeah, well, hey, he beat us last time they played. Yeah, and look, threw for what? He almost threw for 400 yards that day, didn't he?
And I believe I have this right, TV. Cincinnati has never won in Minnesota in the regular season in their history, correct?
No.
Well, save that for a preview show. Nope. Save that for any final thoughts, gentlemen, as far as tonight or looking ahead before we wrap this up?
Well, thanks for letting me on quickly. That was, let me tell you something. That Bud Granfield after the first down after 2 first downs after the idiot decided to punt it with what it was about 8 minutes left when he punted instead of going for it, and then Atlanta got the first down, then another one, then people started. That's it.
Can I ask you this before? I hate to interrupt you, Bill. Why? Because I was busy. I was actually writing down some notes, and I wasn't focused in on the game. And why did the Vikings only have 1 timeout left with like 4 minutes or 5 minutes left? Did they burn some earlier? Did JJ have a problem with a play because they were down to 1 time? They had no timeouts left with.
Yeah, I did.
When
it had to be that
they started burning the timeouts after they got the first down after the 4:35 mark. They started burning the timeouts because they knew they would get the 2-minute warning as a timeout, but they didn't plan on jumping off sides down on 4th and 1.
Oh, can I? You know what? Quickly, I don't. TB Dallas Turner, your thoughts tonight?
I thought he played well.
Okay, I did too.
Yeah, that's the right thing to look at. I mean, sure, Van Ginkel wasn't there, but I thought Dallas Turner did everything basically as well as you can expect.
I seen a comment, on Twitter just before I went on. Do you agree with this assessment that McCarthy's got bandyitis, meaning a noodle arm?
No. In fact, he was too strong tonight, and a couple of throws that he made, the one to Naylor,
anything that's going on with McCarthy now, it starts with your OC and head coach.
Yeah.
He's in his head too much. Let him be JJ.
Well, gentlemen, to wrap this up, final thoughts here. Ugly. Just flush it down the toilet.
It's on the way to Cincinnati.
I'm done with it.
Gotta win. You got to beat Cincinnati, because if they don't beat Cincinnati, and then you're going overseas to play 2 games against a Steelers team, a Browns team that has nothing to lose, if you're coming back from that trip under 500, okay, and then you have the schedule in which they have starting with after the bye week, I believe it's the Philadelphia Eagles, you're in serious trouble. Then we're talking a whole different scenario for the season, right? So, granted, I mean, tonight it could happen. You got a second-year quarterback. The offense couldn't run the ball. The offensive line couldn't block. It was a complete bad job by everybody. So
where does all that start?
Yeah. Get it out of your system. Find it. First drive, Tony and Bill.
Well, I can say
at home next
Sunday. You know what, though? Do any of us here, and even the people in the chat, do any of us feel confident that KOC is going to turn it around?
Nope.
They better. I mean, he better. No, we don't like
In
that.
4 years, people, it's the same damn script.
Mark
Can't run the
Rosen,
ball from 2
years.
yards in. Can't run the ball.
one quick thing. Mark Rosen said, and I agree with him, the play. I actually agree with that idiot. Mark Rosen said the play of the game that turned everything around to even give, at least at that point, they had hope, is when they didn't score a touchdown on 1st and goal with the 2.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
doubt. If they score a touchdown there, who knows? Momentum turn. Falcons were having a hard time in the red zone. I mean, I thought the Vikings defense were great in the red zone again.
Yeah, I mean, they did everything. But you know what? TB knows this from. I said to Blake, I said, this is 1970 and 71 all over again. They're going to have a.
I said that.
Yep.
I
But
brought
the
it up
problem
earlier.
is this defense is going to be sapped out by week 8, 7.
Yeah, if you can't control the ball, if you can't, I mean, what was it? God, there was a statistic that was just unbelievable. Oh, here it is. The Vikings guys on their first 11 offensive plays, 19 total yards. You can't, I mean.
Okay, you know what? That is the Norm Snead / Gary Quazzo / Bob Lee offense of 1971.
I mean, 11 plays for 19 yards, no first downs. That's just not good enough. And that's what
we actually won a game in 71 with like that much total offense.
Yep.
Well, the defense was that good. And listen, the Vikes defense was great for almost 3
I haven't looked at our group. How was the chat members? Everybody's frustrated, but they taking it easy on McCarthy, or is there?
Well, I haven't really kind of dived into it.
I think I'm the only one that is on KOC hard. Everybody says I'm on him. I got more visceral for KOC than JJ. JJ's a rookie.
Who's that guy that should be coaching this team?
Well, yeah, he plays in the Los Angeles.
Oh, Bill, can you agree with me on this one? You saw what Dan Campbell did to Ben Johnson today, right?
Yeah. I was wrong on that, by the way. 100%.
When we go out to LA, we know what happened with Harbaugh here.
Yeah. We're going to get our ass kicked.
You think he's going to run?
If you can't run block, you know what Jim Harbaugh is going to be. Or you can't run defend.
He's going to run up 50 points on this team.
Oh, yeah, because he had a job, but he didn't get the job because of
right.
Well, we always have that moment to look back on and be frustrated because, let's face it, if Jim Harbaugh was in Minnesota, I think we'd be closer to a Super Bowl than we are now.
We're still not a tough team. We're still not a tough team.
No.
Because, again, tonight he had a chance. That's the thing he's really getting ripped on by everybody.
He still has a soft team. He does.
Yeah, because he's not running. You get all this for him. He said and he preached it. I'll give Liam Cohen credit. He screwed up today. Bad rookie coach mistake. But at least that team is that's physical Jacksonville that I've ever seen. He's not all talk. He's a little bit of action. Our coach is all talk.
Right, and all about a passing game and not establishing.
And the problem is he's getting a pass.
See, and I don't even think I'm overreacting. I don't think Tony's overreacting. People, listen, he's a good coach.
He's a good offensive coach.
He's a good offensive coach.
But
quarterback coach, really. Should be a quarterback coach.
But besides not winning a playoff game, look at the big games they've come out flat. And where was he? I don't see no adjustment. Somebody said, then we can call it a night. Where are the slants to Jefferson? Ron Johnson, your guy, TD. Ron Johnson, your guy, said, where are the slants to Justin Jefferson? Why is that in our playbook? Why don't we try to get people going?
I said that. Where was Adam Thielen, Bill? Slant it. Right? Slot.
Where's
slant.
Thielen?
What beats a pass rush? Other than obviously.
Yeah.
Slants, quick. Got to get rid of the ball. Quick slants, go. Where was it? It wasn't there.
Why is it? Can I just say this? Because now, last year we lost to the Rams to those long developing plays in the playoff game. He's still doing it.
Yes.
Yeah.
He did it in the. It was like, why are you making JJ process?
It's a rookie quarterback.
Tony, we had said the receivers didn't do well last week. They were horrible at separation this week. I mean, where's TJ Hawkinson? Where's Thielen was pretty much invisible
Oh,
tonight.
by the way, Bike fans is ripping TJ, paying him all that money, and
Mm-hmm.
but part of that is he's not getting the ball much. Now
No.
he could be, maybe he's not much anymore. But you brought Thielen in here for what? You don't have Jordan Addison. I thought everything was going to be set up for him
He was
tonight.
invisible tonight.
He was invisible tonight.
Other than that catch that I almost thought wasn't a catch, and they gave it to him. But he's a good red zone guy. Why not throw it to Thielen? If you're going to throw it on first down, look for 19. That's where he does his best
You know
work.
what? We're at the point now where it's why ask why, because he's
Hey,
just
what do they
going
do
to
if
next week.
Darisaw does not play Sunday, which I think there's a chance, and School doesn't play? Walter Rouse, I guess, huh?
Yeah,
If
Walter
it'll
actually
be
was okay
Rouse.
other than that penalty he took. He took a
Well, he's getting
holding play on a big run.
That penalty. That's not
It
a
was
penalty.
kinda
I'm
iffy.
sorry.
Yeah, I don't. You know what? I'm going to agree with TB. When they showed that, I'm going, what the? Come on, man.
That's on every
Yeah.
single play. That type of block.
Yeah.
Well, gentlemen, on
All
that
right.
note, we're going to say goodnight. It is 12:37 where I am right now. If any of you
let's
out
go to
there
5
want
in
to
the
comment
morning.
on anything that we had to say, if you have anything that you want to add, what are you thinking of the Minnesota Vikings after 2 weeks? Let us know in the comments below.
Well, I can say can't wait to Tony's takes, huh?
Oh boy, that's gonna be an award winner.
Parental advisory will be.
Oh yeah, here come the swears. Here come the 4-letter words coming from Tony.
I'm done. I just I'm tamer here. Maybe I'll be a little better tomorrow morning, but no, I'll be thinking about it all night. So guess what? It's probably going to tick me off even more. So yeah, expect some adult language in my Tony's take. This team deserves it and then some after this performance tonight.
They really do. So for Bill Dunkel, Sir Purple, who was at the game, had to watch it with his own 2 eyes, for Tony Bell, and for yours truly, thank you for watching, and thank you, Quality Control. Take it away.
That's a wrap. Whether we're celebrating a win or dissecting a tough loss, one thing's for sure, the passion never fades and the conversation never stops. We'll be back later in the week to dive deeper into Vikings football, injury updates, Bengals-Vikings preview, and everything you need to stay sharp as we sail towards Sunday. Until next time, SKOL!
SKOL!